only on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Now you're playing with power.
Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again. And this time we're going to look at game number 19 in our 20 from the Nintendo Entertainment System. This is a really awesome, long involving game. Kind of a run-and-gun platform jumping game. It was originally known as Metafight on the Nintendo Famicom, and this is called Blaster Master, and this was released by Sunsoft in 1988. This was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this. The music is great. Sunsoft, as far as I know, didn't make a ton of fantastic games for the Nintendo, but this was definitely a fantastic game. The plot, at least in the westernized version, is a bit daft. You are this kid who has a pet frog named Fred, and it escapes from its jar, and there's some radioactive material that sprouted up from the ground or something, and it touches it, and it gets mutated into a giant frog, and it escapes underground. And you go after him, and you come across this battle vehicle, and its nickname is Sophia. And you grab a helmet and the suit that comes with it, and you go on these adventures to eradicate all sorts of mutant menaces underground. It's such a fun game, and the music is just so cool, and it changes from stage to stage. There are 8 stages, and you pick up new items and new weapons for your battle vehicle, and you can get new weapons for your guy. And maybe I didn't mention it, but your name is Jason, and you pick up weapon increases for your gun, and it gets a lot stronger. There are both you can run out of energy in either your tank or Jason and die. There will be either letters that say P that you can pick up, and that'll add to your power or your energy meter at the bottom left. Or there's an H, and that'll add to your hover ability, the length of time that you can hover in the air. But you can't use that until later on in the game. Right now, if you pick up an H, it won't add to your hover meter. We will look at that later on in the game, but it allows you to fly for a limited amount of time. There's some very cool additions that you get to your tank. You can fire from your tank. You can get out of your tank as Jason. And you can fire from your laser gun as Jason. If you're getting shelled in your tank, don't worry too terribly much, as long as you keep killing enemies. A lot of them will give you energy icons, with the letter P. And yeah, you can climb out as Jason and explore certain areas that you cannot reach with the tank. And there's one of them, and you press down to go into the door. Some of these doors that you go in will have a long series of rooms, and sometimes one of those rooms will lead to a boss, and sometimes it's just an area to get your weapon power increased. And there I got one gun icon, and see it says gun just above POW now that I'm as Jason. And I just picked up some weapons for my tank. And there are 3 weapons apart from the tank's regular gun. You can fire homing missiles, you can fire 3-way missiles, and you can fire a lightning bolt from below you. And that lightning bolt, I think, is especially helpful because there will sometimes be enemies below you. Whoops. Yeah, Jason can especially take some serious damage if he's fighting the enemies that you normally would with your tank. When you're climbing a ladder, you could press, it's either A or B, I can't remember which one, but you'll jump off the ladder. Don't screw up and fall all the way down the ladder. You will die. Jason cannot fall very far before he gets majorly hurt. The tank, however, can fall as far as you want it to. I can't quite reach that. Yeah, the tank is fairly durable, but it could still get hurt from enemies' firepower or running into an enemy. There are 8 stages in all, and once you beat a boss in one of those room areas, yeah, these guys you can also use lightning on. You pause the game and you go to the weapon screen. But once you defeat a boss, then you will get a new part for your tank. Yeah, the original game Meta Fight, which was also by Sunsoft for the Famicom, has some differences that I don't know if you can find the ROM or the game Meta Fight. Might be worth checking out to see what those differences are. The story is quite a bit different. There I picked up some extra homing missiles. Now note this is an underwater area. Your tank moves much slower. Jason can swim underwater. He'll move a little faster than the tank. But eventually another part you can get for your vehicle will make you move much faster underwater. And there is one extra part that you'll get per boss that you've beaten, except for the last one, I think. And once you've beaten all 8 bosses, then your game is over, and you get an ending screen. And the ending screen is different with the original game Meta Fight as well. There's I think like different characters that aren't mentioned in this. Blaster Master had a series of games with Blaster Master in the title, or maybe a Meta Fight in the title. Yeah, you won't fall through that little space there. You'll just drive right over it. But we are going to the area that has a boss in it. Ooh, I turned around just in time. You have to beat the 3rd boss, I believe, in order to get your hover power. There will eventually be, yeah, see, I'm much faster than the tank. There will eventually be an ability to make your tank walk on the walls and ceilings, and that is super cool. But these abilities that you get for your tank, you really need them. These guys will move a certain direction when you pass in front of them, and they move quickly. But they are easy to destroy. There are some bosses that, or some characters in this game that are just super annoying. There are these bug-type enemies that you start seeing in level 2, and they drop down from above, and they follow you, and they are super annoying. I really hate them. But you get a better gun the more gun icons you pick up. You can eventually have a wave gun, or wave beam, or whatever it was called, like in Metroid. And fully powered up, it can go through walls. Very, very nice. Yeah, not all of these specific areas... Ah, crap. Yeah, anytime you get shot, you'll lose one marker on your gun gauge, and the power of your gun will drop. You have to shoot this guy and then back away. I did not mention it, and you might have seen it already. You do have a gun and a grenade as Jason. You have unlimited grenades, and the secondary button will fire those grenades. You cannot jump when you're in these labyrinth areas. You cannot jump, which kind of sucks, but no well. I love the music in this game. It's so peppy. If you see an icon that is flashing, like a P or an H or a gun icon, that will restore your meter much more. It'll restore it like 4 digits instead of just 1. And here is our first boss. You'll see a boss appear shortly after this warning sound. This is super easy. This is some brain with a shield. Just use your grenades. Just go around it. Try not to get hit by the rotating shield. Just go around and just nail him as much as you can with the grenade. I mean, try to have a reasonable length of life meter. And there's the first component that I pick up for my tank. And this component allows your tank to shoot a special beam. It will allow you to get through this barrier that you otherwise could not if you did not have that component. Yeah, Jason can shoot from his laser gun when he's on foot. It's not as damaging as the tank cannon, of course. Yeah, I used to own this game. It's fun. It's got some semi-puzzle parts where you have to figure out how to use some of your tank's special abilities. But yeah, this is some of Sunsoft's strongest or best work as far as music goes. I was really, really impressed by this game. Sometimes the tank kind of moves a little faster than you expect it to, and you have to adjust in mid-air as you're jumping. But we're coming up to that gate pretty soon, and just past the gate is the way to Area 2. I like the openness of this game. This takes a lot of shots. You don't have to directly go to from one area to the next. I mean, you can go between areas. You can just explore everywhere pretty much, and you can pick up things from areas you were before that you could not back then. You know, now that you've gotten some new parts for your tank, you can pick up some areas, some items that you couldn't reach from previous areas. Those guys, I really hate them. Those gray little slug things or worm things or whatever the hell they are. Yeah, they drop from above, and they can easily pelt your tank. There was my homing missiles. And yeah, you press pause and you can select from your different weapons. Of course, they're not unlimited in use. Note there are bits of the wall that I cannot destroy right now. I can destroy those later once I get the item necessary from the boss. And here is boss number 2, and look at my powered up wave gun. Here is a trick, and it can work on bosses 2, 4, 6, and 7. Lob a grenade on the boss, and right when it's flashing white, pause. And just sit there for like 20 seconds. Once you unpause, it's dead. And again, that's boss number 2, number 4, number 6, and number 7. Ta-da! Definitely don't want to forget that. And there's the next component, and this allows me to shoot through those little parts of the walls that we saw earlier. Like that. Note that there are lava pits, there are spike pits, and those cause serious damage if you go and touch them. And this is area 3. We're going to see every music track for each area that you go into is great. Now you can also shoot these blocks out of your way. And here is me using one of the wall crawls, or maybe both. I think you crawl on the walls with one capability and on the ceilings with another. Because there's one called Wall 1 and one called Wall 2. And here is a shortcut to the last area from Area 3. But I don't think I'm quite capable of beating the 8th one yet. I did put on I think a Game Genie cheat so that I'm invincible in my tank. If you suffer damage from Jason, or with Jason, and you get in the tank, then all of Jason's energy is restored. You can get out of the tank and see that all your energy is back. It's kind of nice. That's not the case with the tank. The tank will still have damage if you jump in and out of it with Jason and back in. And here's we're looking at the hover here. Pretty nice. But yeah, it eats up the hover abilities there quickly. That might be Fred, Jason's frog. Trying to get revenge on him for keeping him prisoner, I guess. Might be, I don't know for sure. This, I think, is the last level, and you'll have to shoot your way through these walls. There is the second to last boss. And immediately after you destroy him, you face the next boss, or the actual final boss. And he's this flaming guy. Yeah, I could make jokes about that, but I won't. But he's actually kind of easy. You just kind of walk around him and try not to get touched, try not to get whipped. And then once you destroy him, you get to see the ending sequence. And like I was saying, the theme, or the plot of the original game, Meta Fight, is quite a bit different from this. I guess the character of Jason, from what I read, or what I think I remember reading, he eventually dies, but he has kids to basically carry on his legacy. And he did make it out with Fred, so that wasn't Fred as the boss that he killed. I think that's Fred that I see on the tank with him. And this is the ending of Blaster Master. You get, I think you get unlimited continues in the Japanese version Meta Fight. And again, that was for the Famicom, the original Nintendo system. But you get only 4 in the US version. But that is Blaster Master by Sunsoft in 1988. Definitely a game worth checking out. Not only should you check out all of my top 20 picks for the Nintendo Entertainment System in this series, but there are going to be a whole bunch we'll look at later on that you really should have a crack at as well, that are a lot of fun. There were a ton of Nintendo games released during its lifespan. Like 700 something games, I think. A lot of games. A lot of good ones. We'll also look at some really bad ones you should avoid. That is Blaster Master by Sunsoft in 1988. And like I said, you have 4 continues. And watch out! Jason cannot take much damage from falling from long heights, or quite a ways up. And when you die, when you continue again, you start at the beginning of your area. Well, that was Blaster Master by Sunsoft in 1988. Game number 19 in our 20 from the Nintendo Entertainment System. Well, I thank you for watching, and I hope you join me soon for game number 18. Hope you had a happy Memorial Day, everybody. Take it easy, folks. Bye-bye.